is
champion.
Yeah, undisputed champion. Nigga, I was saying I need to get money. I need to get out of my situation. That's another thing why I say, like, once I get to, while I'm at this level, like, it's no point, like, it's no more point to prove to myself.
Swindle around and fight Jake Paul for this money. If you think I'm going to sit back by the wayside and sit there and be like, well, even though I'm contracted to fight this guy for this amount of money on this certain day, I'm just going to sit here and be cool with, oh, he might not ever fight me, and he's going to go fight and get paid and get this money, and I'm not supposed to get anything.
Gervonta Tank Davis has finally opened up about why he chose to fight Jake Paul instead of taking a rematch with Lamont Roach. He explained, "At this level, I've got nothing left to prove. Why would I waste time fighting Jake Paul just for money? Because if I sit around waiting, and he goes on to make millions fighting someone..."
Nah, Tank is a money fighter. Who's the bigger money fight for Tank? I don't think that's Shakur.
Who else would you think? Jake Paul?
Yeah, for sure, but I'm not even talking about fake boxing. Like, for sure, he gonna do that if that...
Observers have noticed that Tank seems emotionally detached from boxing leading up to the Jake Paul fight. In his own words, "I've been doing this since I was 7 years old. This is the first camp where I can actually enjoy myself and be me again." He admitted that his passion started fading after the draw with Roach. Even before their planned rematch, he said he didn't want to get too deep into it. For Davis, this fight represents freedom more than competition.
I don't want to put a lot out there, but it's just, doing what's best for me and what's right for me. And I've been doing this for a little minute now. I've been doing it since...
That explanation didn't sit well with everyone. Many fans found his answer evasive, as if he was avoiding reopening a chapter he'd already closed. Lamont Roach quickly fired back, posting a meme of Lisa Simpson crying with the caption, "Every time he's gotta explain why he's fighting Jake." The jab was classic boxing banter, sharp, funny, but full of frustration.
Amongst boxing, pound for pound talent, and me, on the other hand, coming up from 130 to 135 to fight this monster, that's going to make me a 2-division world champ. That's going to make me a 2-time world champ. And that's going to put me in the...
Behind the humor, Roach's anger was real. He'd been expecting a rematch that fans believed was next until Davis signed the deal with Jake Paul. When the news broke, Roach took to social media again, writing, "Told y'all. Duck duck." Complete with 4 duck emojis for emphasis.
Thing is, like, just handle the business right. That's all. Just handle the business right. Don't think you're gonna do bad business with me and think it's just gonna be okay. No, we're gonna call you out every single time. Don't duck a fight with me and fight a YouTuber that's 200 pounds and think it's okay. It's not okay. I don't care what, unless you took the proper...
The situation soon shifted from rivalry to business. In a new interview, Roach revealed he wouldn't take Davis to arbitration over the broken rematch deal. "No, we aren't going to arbitration," he said. "I'm very well taken care of." He didn't explain what taken care of meant, but his tone made it clear someone compensated him privately.
If I were to go to arbitration, then what? Then you got to pay lawyer fees, or you put your promotional company in a hole where they have to back you because technically it's on them. They're the ones who putting on the fight. That's who I have the contract. That's who draws up the agreement, the contracts, or whatever the case may be. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy for you to do business-wise.
Roach later thanked Al Heyman, PBC, and Davis's team for resolving the matter. "Even though he messed up, they made things right on my end," he said. This statement confirmed what many suspected, a quiet settlement behind the scenes. In boxing, when a star like Davis pivots toward a money fight, the machine makes sure all loose ends are tied.
It don't look like that's gonna happen. For everybody that keep asking me, everybody be on every single boxing page, boxing source, you hearing it from the horse's mouth, it might not happen, or most likely not gonna happen for sure. Same, but I think he dodging that. Dodging God's plan. You know the dude reach out. If you want to fight or you don't, simple. That's it.
For Davis, the choice is deeply personal. He's admitted that his motivation is running low. After years in the sport, building a legacy in headline after headline, he's ready to prioritize financial comfort over glory. The Jake Paul fight is his opportunity to cash out, stay healthy, and exit on his own terms, even if it reignites debate about boxing's shifting priorities.
And him and Tank Davis weren't friends. Him and Tank Davis weren't cool. They didn't really know each other like that. They were just cordial. This is a different cry from what he said about Tank Davis leading up to his first fight with Tank Davis. And I believe this because he realized how out of pocket he has been. He realized that, well, let me make it seem like it's not as out of pocket to shit on him after he gave me an opportunity.
Fellow boxer Shakur Stevenson empathized with Tank's move, though he wouldn't have done the same. Stevenson explained that a rematch with Roach would have been risky. A potential loss could have lowered Davis's market value. By facing Jake Paul first, Tank secures the bigger payday while he still holds his status.
Can you blame a man for taking that opportunity? Because this is prize fighting, right? It's about making money and securing your family. Can you fault him for that?
It's two sides of that. Like,
okay.
It just depends. Like, as a fighter, just because I had a draw with somebody, for me, I may run it back. But in a business aspect, if you run it back and you lose to Lamont, and then...
Meanwhile, Terrence Crawford warned that the matchup is far from easy. Jake's way too big for Tank, Crawford said. He wasn't mocking the fight, he was stating a fact. Jake Paul's natural size, reach, and weight advantage make this less of a sideshow and more of a physical gamble for Davis.
What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank.
Rolly Romero defended Davis, saying, "People need to stop acting like fighters shouldn't get paid. He's got a family to feed." Romero's point resonates. No one else takes the punches, so no one else should dictate how a fighter earns his paycheck.
Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
Will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't...
Davis's longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, framed the Jake Paul fight as purely business. "This is a business decision," Ford said. He explained that the camp negotiated every detailed glove size, weight, safety, to protect Davis's interests. In their view, this fight is about securing Tank's future, not settling old scores with Roach.
My only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s.
Roach, however, hasn't fully let it go. He's hinted at possible legal action, expressing frustration over how quickly the rematch disappeared once bigger money came into play. To him, it's not just about being passed over, it's about fairness, merit, and respect within the sport.
Jake Paul brings something to media and to boxing. You cannot miss a fight. I like it, baby. I like the drama it's bringing, I'll be honest.
But nobody really cares about this fight.
Yeah, are you going to watch it?
Yeah, of course. That's how it's going to go. Nobody really cares, but everybody's going to watch it. Like,
nobody cares about this.
Even promoter Eddie Hearn admits that the math makes sense. There's $5 to $7 million for Roach, and $30 million for an exhibition with Jake Paul. You can't really blame Gervonta. His blunt assessment highlights the shift in boxing's economics, from legacy fights to luxury fights.
It's kind of weird, because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank. And but with it being a exhibition, it makes sense. It's fine.
Still, uncertainty surrounds the bout. The rules are flexible, the gloves are larger, and the fight might not even count on official records. It's spectacle over sport, and Tank is fine with that. He's not seeking validation anymore, only the payoff.
Geo's World, facts. That's why Tank wants to fight Jake Paul. I'm telling you, he want to fight Jake Paul because he know if he climb in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, he's going to get zapated.
Teofimo Lopez echoed a similar sentiment,
Still, for
saying,
many fighters and analysts,
Tank
this
versus
entire
Jake?
saga shows the
May
ongoing
the best
shift
man
in boxing,
lose, he
where
joked.
financial leverage often
It won't hurt
outweighs
his
tradition
legacy,
or
just
merit.
his bank account.
Teofimo Lopez offered his
Lopez
own
argued that
perspective on the
Davis has
situation.
already proven himself.
Speaking to knockout artist
A
Sports,
big money fight
Lopez
at this
didn't seem
stage is
bothered
just
by
part of a
Davis's
superstar's
decision to take the
evolution.
Jake Paul fight, nor
Fighters
did he
don't
think it
fight
would
forever,
taint his
so
resume.
why not cash in before
Tank
walking
versus
away?
Jake, less than a month away.
I think of Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis. I know on Instagram you call it a circus.
Yeah, boxing is slowly turning into the WWE. That's what I think.
Does Tank Davis have a chance?
Yes, but
yeah?
I don't even want to talk about it. Don't ask me questions like that again.
Davis has openly discussed retirement
That ties
plans
directly
before
into
the end of
Davis's own statements earlier
2025.
this year. The
His
30-year-old
tone
had
lately has
already
been more
mentioned plans to
reflective than
retire before
competitive,
the end of
suggesting
2025.
burnout rather than hunger.
His language in interviews has
The
been
Jake
increasingly
Paul fight,
reflective,
while technically
even
an
detached.
exhibition, could
He's
be the
talked
final
about doing
major
this
event
since
of his
he was
career.
a child, and how this current camp
If
is
Jake
the first
knocks
time
out Tank, we're crushed. If it goes all 10 and it was a sparring session, we hate it. And that's the Black Two Sugars. So the question is, can Tank knock out Jake? And this is what we're going to look at right now. First, the biggest question that I had was, can Tank...
Still, the matchup is sparking debate. Critics say it undermines his credibility, others argue he's simply adapting to the modern era. The fight even forced BoxRec to create a new classification, HYB Pro, Hybrid Professional, for events that blur the line between exhibition and professional boxing. It acknowledges the bout's unique rules and significance, even if it won't count toward official records.
He's a marketing genius, but when it comes to people depicting his fights, I can't get my head around it. If Tank hits him clean, he's going to sleep. He'll have a lot of smoke blowing up his backside by his coaching team and people like that, but when he gets hit for real, 10 ounce, well, I'm told it's 16 ounce gloves now for like an exhibition. Right. I'm told it's big gloves and head guards, he's gonna...
According to ESPN's Andreas Hale, the fight will take place at a 195-pound catch weight, nearly 60 pounds heavier than Davis's usual division. The match will feature 10 3-minute rounds with 12-ounce gloves, balancing safety and spectacle. It's a size mismatch by design, but that's part of the draw.
Somehow looking good in this. I don't know how it is. It's looked to me, David and Goliath, but David got skill and Goliath doesn't. But I don't know how it's going to work out. But if for some reason it winds up being a really fun event and it has tons and tons of millions and millions and millions of viewers, when Gervonta Davis goes back to
the event will stream globally on Netflix,
and
not
Netflix's involvement underscores
signaling
that.
a new era for
this
boxing
isn't a
entertainment.
pay-per-view fight. It's a
It will
global
even
stream
feature an AI
accessible
judge
to
assisting
millions at a
human
fraction
scores,
of the cost.
blending technology
The
with
approach
tradition.
mirrors how crossover events
The
are now
hybrid
sold.
approach mirrors the
Spectacle
sport's
first,
evolving
sports
balance
second.
between competition
For Davis,
and showbiz.
that's not a demotion. It's
I
an
don't wanna
expansion.
beat up somebody that small. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think of the
I
fight?
don't want to lose to somebody that. There's no point in the fight. It's a great fight, actually.
You think
I'm
it's a
not
good
hating
fight?
on the fight, but I think my thoughts on it is let's watch and see what happens.
Ryan Garcia said that boxing is turning into WWE.
Yeah,
with that type of matchup. What do you,
Jake Paul has added extra fuel by revealing a massive knockout bonus on the line. If someone gets knocked out, there's a big bonus, I'm not saying how much, Paul teased. That incentive turns what might have been an exhibition into a real fight with real stakes.
And they have Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis. That's the state of boxing.
Yeah, that's
right now.
crazy.
Let that sink in.
Jake
That's
Paul,
boxing right now.
Gervonta Davis is so crazy. 135 versus 200. That is so nuts.
They're all expedition.
None of them are.
They're exhibition.
Now, anticipation is sky high. For Paul, it's another chance to prove himself against a legitimate champion. For Davis, undefeated at 30-0, 28 KOs, it's a test outside his comfort zone. Paul, now 12-1, 7 KOs, has shown steady improvement, especially after his win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Jake is big, Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
The size gap remains a major talking point. Paul has fought at 227 pounds, while Davis has never gone above 140. Nearly a 100-pound difference. But that's also what makes the fight fascinating, calculated chaos that only modern boxing could create.
A 92-pound weight difference, almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. Let's say he comes in at 200 pounds. It's still a 65-pound weight advantage. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully. It's like, dude, what are you doing? What don't you understand about this? If you want respect from your peers, if you...
ESPN's Andreas Hale summed it up best. This fight may look strange, but it's a legitimate experiment, one that could reshape how crossover events are structured, recorded, and sold. And with Netflix behind it, the audience will be massive.